Welcome to Ambrosia's Realm, where we are here to share knowledge. Melanin. So, 7 or 8 years ago, I did an internet search on melanin, and the search engine did not even recognize the word. It suggested that I meant melatonin. And I thought it was strange because at least it should recognize it. It recognized the word and just pull up the very little information it had on it. I mean, certainly it has to have some info on it, right? So I became really interested in melanin as a pigment because of all of the recent information that was coming out about the healing and health effects of pigmented molecules. And we already kind of knew about chlorophyll and how it um, it contributes to good health, and how beta carotene, which is another pigment, contributes to health, and how all of these other pigments are coming out as antioxidants, have anti-cancer properties. So I'm thinking, yeah, the pigment that is all pigments combined, because all pigments mixed together makes brown. It should. What does melanin do besides give color like all the rest of the pigments? And I couldn't even find it. I went to my college textbook and I found an entry. This textbook is over 1,000 pages long, and it was a paragraph and a half on melanin, and that's it. So I became even more intrigued because it just didn't make any sense. So I found a little bit of information, and I suspect this is really the tip of the iceberg. But I want to go into in detail at a later time when I have a better understanding. But I do want to share with you what I did find. So what we already knew and what should be common knowledge is that melanin is a pigment. And it's actually a group of complex pigments. And we are familiar with eumelanin, which gives the black and brown pigment to hair and skin and eyes. But also, we may notice that it deepens when we're exposed to the sun. And that is because one of its main purposes, and particularly on the skin, on the organ of the skin, is for UV protection. But essentially, it's not just UV protection arbitrarily. It's specifically there to protect from DNA degradation. So getting darker protects our DNA, protects our blueprint. As well as protection, it can provide visual acuity. So if you have more pigmented eyes, you have a higher visual acuity, and heat absorption for animals that have eumelanin, such as cold-blooded animals. Yes, animals have eumelanin in them, and particularly reptiles. Okay, and then there's phenomelanin, which gives us the reddish colors, the reds and the goldens. Okay, we're very familiar with those two. Or we may not know the names, but we are familiar. So eumelanin has melanosomes, which are cell organelles that synthesize melanin, and is catalyzed by tyrosinase, which is a copper-containing enzyme in the cell. And this is present in animal and plant tissues. And this, for animal tissues, it results in the production of elastin and collagen, and can be found in bones, in muscles, in skin, etc. So we have melanin in the bones and muscles, and we're going to find that we pretty much have melanin in all of our organs. So we have this enzyme that's copper containing, and we found that copper. I did the research, but I found because they found that copper is the element that catalyzes one of the functions of melanin that we may not have been familiar with, and that is energy conduction. Okay, so melanin acts as a conductor on 4 different levels. It is a semiconductor of sound and heat energy. It is a conductor of the body's ionic charge. It is a superconductor. And what a superconductor means is that there is zero energy loss and there is zero electrical resistance. And it is a superconductor of neurotransmission and radiation. And it is a resonator of sound and heat energy, or is it light energy? It's a resonator of visible light and sound energy. So it, of course, vibrates or oscillates in response to these energy forms. So one of the things that scientists are looking into melanin more for is the use of melanin as a conductor, and they're using melanin for medical sensors, for tissue stimulation, repairing signal carrying pathways, different neurodegenerative diseases. So that's why I was able to find some information, because they have to, of course, publish this information that they've done on melanin. So besides the energy conductor, because of the energy that it does, it is able to absorb and conduct. It synthesizes vitamin D in the skin. And the number of melanocytes in the skin is pretty much the same across all ethnic groups. But the dispersal and the number of melanosomes within the cell is what varies across ethnic groups. Okay, so that's eumelanin. So let's get to the other type of melanin. And this is also, I had no idea that this even existed. And I saw some things after I've done the research, that other people have found out this information. So the other type of melanin besides eumelanin and phenomelanin is neuromelanin. And it suggests exactly what it is. It's located in the neural system. And this is a pigment-bearing neurons, has 4 different types of brain nuclei. There is the substantia nigra, which is found in the midbrain, which is involved in dopamine production. There is the neuromelanin found in the dorsal motor nucleus, in the vagus nerve, the brainstem, which is supplies parasympathetic fibers to all of the organs except for the adrenal glands and a couple of skeletal muscles. There is the neuromelanin that is found in the median raphe nucleus of the pons, and that is involved in the production releases of serotonin. And then there is the neuromelanin found in the pars compacta of the locus cerealis in the brainstem, and that is related to stress or the response to stress. And it has been known that the loss of neuromelanin and does result in several neurological, not only neurodegenerative diseases, but also neuromelanin can cause several different types of neurological disorders. Okay, so I hope that everyone found that interesting, because I definitely did. We really thought that it was just so it gave you skin color, whatever skin color that you may have, and that really we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg, and I don't even know if it was that much, to be honest with you. And I am disturbed that, I never learned anything about melanin at all. Like, at all. It's kind of strange, right? Okay, so in conclusion, I definitely want to convey that melanin is a major organizing molecule for living systems. It is a key biocrystalline molecule in human being, and it's a ubiquitous in nature. It's found all throughout the human body. It's found in all animal, across taxonomic groups. So we're talking about the taxonomic group of animals, plants, fungi. It is also even found in soil, which kind of makes sense, but clouds and stars and comets, they found this structure conserved in celestial objects. I think I added that. El celestial. So yeah, it's really something that deserves a lot more study. So I hope that you have learned something more about melanin that you did not know before. And if you liked the video, like the video, and thank you for joining me.